Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Smokin Lariat podcast. I am your host, Tenacious Nick, here with Smokin Shane. And tonight, well, we are recording this at January 30th, just a little bit after Monday Night Raw has aired. So we're going to do this review of the Royal Rumble while it's still fresh in our heads. Isn't that right, buddy?
Yep, I mean, especially because we did some rewatching of it since, just to get a little bit of a refresher, especially on the important bits,
Exactly.
like the daytime soap opera that was the final.
Oh, my goodness.
But we'll get there. We'll get there,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
and then we'll spend an hour there. But we'll get there.
Yes, we will. So, for starters, the pay-per-view opened, or I'm sorry, premium live event opened. That's what they're calling it. You gotta go with it.
I will not. I will stay in my old man, get off your lawn mode. Thank you, Michael Wilbon, for this. I know it is a pay-per-view because it's supposed to be a special event, not just something else.
You gonna pay the full pay-per-view price then?
For Royal Rumble, yes, I would.
Okay.
And
You
for
gonna
this
pay the.
for
What about
for this,
Elimination Chamber?
maybe let's see what the card
What
is.
about WrestleMania Backlash?
Shush! You're putting logic into this. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! No! Stop it! Executive producer causing problems.
Yeah, I think the executive producer is causing some issues here, but we'll get things under control momentarily. So let's jump right in, shall we? We're gonna the pay-per-view opens up with the men's Royal Rumble, which
Neither one of us were expecting that.
I was not expecting that at all. We were hanging out, and then you told me we were outside real quick. You were like, go check what's inside real quick, see what's opening up.
Because we both thought it was either going to be we both thought it was either going to be the pitch black match or maybe the women's rumble, because that's what's been starting the rumble the past few years.
Yes, it has been the women's rumble starting until the past few years, but for this one they started with the men's, and number 1 and 2 it was Gunther and Sheamus, and they were just gonna run back Clash at the Castle, and I was all for it.
It was, yeah. I the first thing I got written in my notes was that pop for Sheamus when the crowd realized what was happening. It took a half second and then it hit, and that was a I've never heard a pop like that for Sheamus.
It's been a minute. Maybe Clash at the Castle, I'd say, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so we start with 1 and 2. Miz comes out at 3, and I noticed a little statistic on Reddit. There was Miz hasn't had an elimination since 2012. 2012 Royal Rumble.
What?
Yeah. And
He spent a decade plus without eliminating someone in a rumble? You're kidding me.
nope.
That is insane. Hey, get that bread, Mike.
Yeah, but obviously that didn't change this year.
No.
He was the first one. He was actually the first one eliminated.
He got cooked pretty damn quick.
And then number 4 was Kofi Kingston.
Man, I bet. I'm sorry. My fandom popped a little bit too hard. I heard the music. It's the Royal Rumble. He's been posting with the boys on Instagram and on Twitter. He's been doing media appearances. I thought it was Big E. I popped so hard thinking it was Big E, and then went, wait, which one of them is it?
Yeah, I thought it would be Big E too, but then I remember Big E has his own solo music, and Then I thought, oh, maybe it's Xavier Woods coming out first, and then it was Kofi. I was like, okay, cool, Kofi. Let's
What's
see
the
how he
spot?
does.
What's the spot going to be this year?
Yeah, and spot this year didn't work again.
No, it did not.
Nope.
It would have worked. It got mistimed.
Yeah, that's all it was a missed time.
It was
Uh,
literally all it was a mistime. He didn't botch. Frankly, he didn't botch. Xavier botched.
mhm. And throughout this whole Rumble up to this point, it's mostly just been Gunther dominating through the Rumble. It's like Sheamus and Gunther mostly been in the corner just going at it, but it's mostly just been Gunther being the Iron Man.
Essentially, yeah.
Uh, number five. Number five was Johnny Gargano, and I believe this was his second Rumble. It was a decent showing. Nothing.
Yeah, he hung around. He had some fun spots, but nothing too solid performance, but filler.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. I'd say. And then Xavier Woods came in.
Doesn't help that his storyline is with the Miz, who was the first man out. So there's nothing they can run storyline with him. So
Um, number six was Xavier Woods, and then they did this really fun little bit.
oh my god, they squared up, and I got out of my chair, man. I was like, "Come on, boys, just for the fun of it. What you got? What you got? Let's see what you got." And then they pulled this thing out, and oh, I forgot to write down the origin
Basically,
of it,
basically,
but it's a it's a like a dance for a wedding. It's a couple of brothers on TikTok. I just found it on Instagram because I'm an old person and I don't use TikTok. But they do these bits, and one of them is one guy jumps up into the other one's arms, and their legs kind of wrap behind them, and then they go duck under the legs, and then they play the bongos on each other's bums. It's very funny.
very funny. A nice little
And
comedy spot for the Rumble.
yeah, especially with the way that they played off of it. Like they squared up as if they were gonna fight, and then as they went to lock up, they did that instead.
The crowd, yeah, there were people in the crowd. If you look, they were just like, no, no,
Don't
no,
fight! Don't fight!
and
Um,
then they do the bongos, and then everyone starts laughing.
and if you look over, Sheamus has such a good time in this match, guys. Like, oh my god, Sheamus had such a good time in this match. Every time you looked at him, he was just smiling his face, like, oh my god, he was so happy. It was so fun to see because when a wrestler's obviously that happy, you know what they're going to be performing is good product.
And his timing was good too, because like after the bongo spot, he was like quick to freaking kick Xavier Woods or either it was Woods or Kofi Kingston. He kicked one of them.
Yeah, he like broke it up. He was like, okay, that was funny. Now we fight again.
Yep. And then Karrion Kross made his way out at number 7, and
The only sorry, go for it. What you
he's
got?
been mostly been feuding with Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio he actually got Rey Mysterio actually got injured in his match with Karrion Kross, so that explains a certain number on the list on the Rumble spot, but we'll get to that momentarily. Then
Oh, okay.
but they're gonna play it off like someone did something.
Gotcha. Okay, that
So
makes sense. But I will say the one thing with Carrion, I want him to have a better performance. I was really shocked with how easily he was eliminated, to be honest.
mhm.
Um, but the one thing is, I do love what they do with the camera. Like, no matter how much crap I'll give WWE, their production department, with the exception of Kevin Dunn, bro, you need to cool it with the cuts, man. It ain't. Like
camera
just
cuts.
like just let things breathe a little bit more. Like the the guys behind the mics can do it, are getting the opportunity to do it. So can you. Um, but like the editing team and the production team in that regard is so good. Like they somehow did the cameras like it had like like almost like a noir film. It like reminded me almost like of a Casablanca style film reel. There was like a hesitation or like a shudder
Yes.
to it.
Yeah, they have nailed Carrion's presentation down to a T. And I it's not for everyone. It is not my cup of tea,
Not
but
mine either.
it definitely is unique. I just can't Carrion doesn't get me as a when it comes to a wrestler, he's not someone I look to. But again, that's just my opinion.
And I've never honestly I've been so preoccupied with other stuff. I've never bothered to look into him one way or another. So when I'm seeing him now, I'm essentially seeing him for the first time. I mean, it's cool, but he's not my type of wrestler personally. But
Yeah.
he's good at what he does. He's superb at what he does. And as character work comes, excellent. Excellent.
So number 8 comes out and it's Chad Gable. And everyone knows Chad Gable's there just to fill a spot. But him and Xavier Woods have this nice little spot where they're doing some amateur collegiate wrestling. And it's awesome. Just because of the fact I love it. I love it when where there's two actual wrestlers that know how to wrestle and they just go shoot the shits just for the fuck of it.
Oh yeah, no, like that. You and me, we were both like they we were just talking about the camera cuts. They kept doing camera cuts, and me and Nick were like, "No, go back, go back. We just want to see Xavier and Chad.
Yeah,
Just let them go."
yeah. That's all I wanted to see was them going at it. So
Something you
at,
never thought you'd hear someone say. I want to watch Chad Gable and Xavier Woods go at it at the Royal Rumble.
I believe it was the Rumble last year. Him and Gable and Ziggler were were wrestling like that, and they were just doing it for like a minute straight while they waited for the next person to come in the ring or something.
That's great. I missed that.
Um, the number 9 comes in, and it's Drew McIntyre. This is where things start to really pick up, I want to say, in the Rumble, because then you got the Banger Bros teaming up together against
That's
Shane.
not their name according to WWE. And Pat McAfee does not give a fuck.
He got in trouble.
Oh, he got in so much trouble and he kept doing it anyway. And
Like I'm not allowed to say the Banger Bros anymore. I don't know
I'll
what
say
to
the
say on this
bros the
show.
thing. Mentions a copyright issue. Was that him or Cole? One of
That
them
was
mentioned a.
Graves.
Oh, that was Graves that mentioned the.
Something by a copyright issue. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was. Oh, so good. How does WWE not think to look things up? That's all I have to ask. But besides the point, tag team with the greatest nickname in WWE right now.
Banger
Period.
Bros.
Even if they don't have it anymore.
Banger
That the
after banger after banger after banger after banger
see we
after
know they're from
banger.
the U. Shush you. We know they're from the UK because we know banger means a fight. If they were American, it would mean a hot dog.
Hot dog. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. All right.
Okay.
So
Sorry, tangent over.
number 10 comes out and it's the Diego del Fantasma's Santos Escobar. He's making his Rumble debut. And I think for someone making the Rumble debut, he had an okay showing. He didn't last very long. I want to say I don't remember.
This
You
is kind of at the. This is kind of, sorry. What?
you saw the you rewatched the men's rumble. I remember. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It we talked about this a little bit outside the recording, but like a lot of this while we were watching it, but a lot of this match to me felt like filler. It they they shot their load too early.
Yeah. A little bit.
Plain and simple. They had we'll get to it, but kind of it. He did all right. He had some nice moves. He had some decent showing. Showed off his athleticism. Didn't have any much character development, and then he got tossed when number 12 walks in. But we'll get there in a second.
Yes. We will. Number 11, Angelo Dawkins, one half of the Street Profits. Now, in my head, I thought they would try to do something like Angelo would try to eliminate Montez, or Montez would eliminate Angelo. But I don't think I don't even think they were in the ring at all
Not
at the
even
same
close.
time.
Not even close to the same amount of time. Like not even close to the same amount of like when we watched it the first time, I would have said the same thing. I literally just finished rewatching that match again right before we got on. The Angelo was gone by like 15, and then Ford is what, like 25, something like that.
23. He's like, spoiler alert, everyone, we're jumping ahead. Montez Ford was 23. Number
Cool.
23.
We'll get back to him, but I will. The one thing I always forget that Dawkins has some solid athleticism for someone his size and build. Like I always forget that.
Slimmed up a bit, dude. He looks in great shape.
He looks in really good shape. Um, and the other thing that I absolutely love is the fact that the Street Profits, whatever city they're in, they take their home jerseys, and that's their costume, as they said. But I'll just say wrestling gear.
Yes. It was around this 11-man spot. Shit's getting a little hectic. I think Miz was already eliminated. I think Gunther had just eliminated Xavier Woods for,
Yes.
and then um, Kofi Kingston tries to eliminate Gunther.
Santos Escobar gets in the way. Him and Kofi get into it, and then Sheamus comes in, right?
I thought it was Sheamus or Gunther.
What
One
one of the
one of the big
one
boys.
one one of the big beefy hurdy boys that isn't Drew McIntyre came in, knocked Kofi, and we had the attempt at his Royal Rumble spot for the year, because let's be real, this is Kofi Kingston. That's what he does. He is known as the guy. He's known for two things: doing spots on the Royal Rumble, and getting eaten alive by Brock Lesnar. That's it. That's what everyone knows him for. That and losing a Jamaican accent and getting called out by Triple H on Raw. Heyo.
Anyways, but they tried a spot. Basically, the spot was Woods was to throw a rolling desk chair underneath Kofi, and Kofi was to land both his feet onto the chair. However, it just seemed like Kofi just flew straight into the chair. Chair goes flinging out everywhere. He rolls, both he hit the ground, but then they end up with one foot on the chair. Commentary's trying to sell like, oh, but he has 1 foot on the chair, 1 foot on the chair. And then number 12 comes out, and Pat McAfee's like, stay down, because number 12 is none other than the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And he comes in, he just takes everyone to Suplex City, does 3 eliminations. He eliminates Santos Escobar. He eliminates Chad Gable. He eliminates, I think he eliminated Angelo Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have him and Gunther have a stare down in the middle of the ring, just to tease the fans of what could possibly happen. Because that match could be on the table in the future. But then out comes number 13, Bobbles, Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, just beats the fuck out of Brock Lesnar. Legit just manhandles him. Throws him out of the Rumble in less than 3 minutes. And Brock Lesnar is just beside himself.
Started throwing shit around. It was interesting. They've set up their WrestleMania segment for sure.
Oh yes, freaking Brock had a set of stairs on the table, and what was that? Oh yeah. While all that's going on, while Brock Lesnar is tearing everything apart, number 14 makes his way out, which is bum ass Baron Corbin. And just before Baron Corbin enters the ring, Brock Lesnar decides to give him an F5, and then he leaves the premises. After that, Seth Rollins makes his way in at number 15. Now, Seth Rollins is going to have a phenomenal showing in this year's Royal Rumble.
That he does. That he does. He has a really nice one. Really consistent throughout the whole match.
Yes. He's
For a
down.
while, I thought you got your prediction right, to be honest.
Yes, I did too. I thought we were going to be swerved. He is.
And then we were swerved.
Yes, we were swerved, big time. But yes, Seth Rollins makes his way out to number 15. Number 16 is Big Man Otis, man with no neck, all around meat. Oh yeah. And then number 17 was supposed to be Rey Mysterio. And the commentary is trying to figure out where Rey could be. Where is Rey? The timer goes on. Number 18 comes out. Who could it be? This little piece of shit son, Dominic, wearing his mask. Takes it off and starts tearing it.
He has gotten so good. Like, that's like one of the only things I've got written down for this part of the Rumble was just Dom's improved so much from like the last time I remember like actually watching him in a match was his tag team match last year at Mania with his dad. And I was like, oh, he is green. And he's not anymore. He's actually got a character like solid. Like he's a POS and he knows he is and he leans into it. And the funniest part was the fact that he was trying to rip the mask up and he couldn't rip the mask.
Oh, he was struggling.
Oh, he was struggling so hard. It was amazing. And he wasn't giving in. I was so impressed with that. He wasn't giving in to like the flaw theoretically. He was like still sticking with the character.
What was great about it too, he was playing a chicken shit heel perfectly. He was waiting to call his spots. He was waiting to get in the Rumble. It was just, he's smart. He's smart.
Yeah.
Number 19 is Elias. And Elias didn't last that long. He did, however, smack Gunther in the back with his guitar, and that was awesome. And I'll give him that. It was really good.
Yeah, no, that was a legit chair shot. It busted him open.
Yeah, it had a nice big old gash. Finn Balor comes in at number 20. This is when Judgment Day starts to really take over, team up and take over.
There was a huge segment of the match that was just kind of controlled by the Judgment Day, and they used the like 18 to 24.
Yes, 18 to 20.
Approximate 18 to 20. Okay, 18 to 24 to really flesh out the Judgment Day storyline and kind of everything going on with that stuff. Really fun. I really like the way that they did it. I have something that I want to have happen, but I unfortunately don't think it's going to, based off of other booking stuff. That I think is going to happen. And so, like, that, but we'll get there. But yeah, no, Finn comes in, and then he's a technical wizard. So he comes in, tons of really good technical wrestling, cleans up the match a little bit, breathes a little bit more life into it because he's got that physical capability to him. And then we've got 21 was...
Can you dig it, sucker?
Right. We got our one nostalgia pop of the entire show.
Kind of bummed. That was the only.
Yeah, that's like. Rumble. Yeah, that's like one downside of the men's rumble like I know we agreed on this was like we only got one of those. Like we definitely could have had another like Legends appearance. And so like Booker came in, he gave the bookend, he did a spooner, he delivered a bookend, he did a spinner Rooney, Gunther tossed him. Huh?
That close to winning.
Yeah, he was about as close as number 26.
All right, so number 22 is Damian Priest, and this is where Judgment Day is complete, running shit, all the eliminations. Number 23 is Montez Ford, which I spoiled earlier. And
him and his Fear of God ones, brave man. Brave man.
Do it though. He could do it. And then number 24 to help tie in the Judgment Day storyline is the rated R superstar Edge.
Yeah.
Edge comes in. Wreck shot.
That pop was honestly, that pop was almost as loud as his return in 2020. Not gonna lie. Like that was a pop.
Yeah, it was.
Crowd went nuts.
Edge goes in, goes straight for the Judgment Day. Throws out Finn, throws out Damian. Dom goes to eliminate Edge, and Finn and Damian pull Edge out of the ring, thus eliminating Edge. And their Judgment Day is like flexing like they just fucking won the Super Bowl and shit. All of a sudden, Edge starts fucking beating the shit out of them, chases Finn down the ramp.
Mind you, guys, hang on. Mind you, guys, this is at the Alamo Dome, which means the ramp is like 65 feet and has like a curve in it. So it's like it's not like I'm walking down.
Yeah, I do like a 50-yard sprint.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm strolling a half mile down to the ring. Yeah, no, these guys. This is a long entranceway.
So he's sprinting. He's sprinting, chase down Finn. Beats Finn down. Austin Theory's trying to make his way in. He's number 25. Austin Theory's trying to make his way down to the ring. And he's like, I'm staying out of this. Leave me out of this.
Literally at one point, Edge is holding Finn and he looks at Theory and Theory puts his hands back and he goes, "Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I'll wait here."
All of a
Smart
sudden, Rhea
man.
Ripley comes out, attacks Edge, just stands there menacingly. From behind
I know.
comes Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon, to confront Rhea Ripley, spears Rhea Ripley, and then everybody is broken up by WWE official and personnel and whatnot. But that is to set up a mixed gender tag match for Elimination Chamber between Edge and Beth Phoenix and Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. And I think they're doing a pretty fucking good job with that story.
That story is exceptional. The one thing I totally forgot to mention about Edge, I know people say Edge has a weak spear. Like, it looks like he's like hugging you and like bringing you down. Like, I've heard people say that before.
Oh, he
Oh,
puts
no,
his shoulder
no.
down.
At the Rumble, that man was going full full on Superman, arms extended. Like, nah, he was going Troy Polamalu. Like, he was making hits.
Yeah, he was.
So, like, I was thoroughly impressed with that. That was something that I noticed, and just like that was really dope. I wanted them to do it at Mania. I wanted them to do it at Mania, and I wanted them to do it intergender, fully intergender. Men with like just a regular tag match. You just got just one guy and a girl on each side, because it's Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley. Beth's already been in a men's match, and she eliminated someone who could not be eliminated by one mortal man, and Beth Phoenix did it anyway. So what if she had to kiss him to do it?
Huh.
Um,
But as we found out earlier on Monday Night Raw today, Rhea Ripley has decided to choose. Well, we jumped ahead a little bit, but the main event for the women's championship will be Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
Spoiler alert: Rhea wins the women's Rumble.
Yes, we assume you've already seen the Rumble already, but we are going.
And if you have not, we apologize for spoiling it. Don't worry, we love the women's match. I promise you that.
I actually prefer it more than the men's. But
we both do. That was where I was going with that. Well, we will get there. This match just is taking forever and a day to get through because, well, it's a Rumble.
Yeah, so number 26 was Omos. And how are they going to get him out of the ring?
How is one person going to move this mountain of a man out of the ring? Whatever will we do? Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. We'll have number 27 be a monster among monsters. Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman confronts Omos after coming in the Rumble, refreshing their little feud that they had going in the Crown Jewel, and Braun Strowman single-handedly eliminates Omos from this Rumble. Last Rumble, it took over like 8-something men to get Omos over the rope. It was
over 6.
Over 6?
Yeah. In my notes, I've got Braun is Triple H's monster. Omos is Vince's old monster. It's a passing of the torch moment, one over the other.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, that they really are they're trying to really rehab Braun, and they're doing a pretty good job of it, I must say.
I must also note that I believe Gunther eliminates both Drew and Sheamus around this time also.
He does on the same elimination. He flips them both over. So, flips them both over at the same time.
I know they want to do Sheamus again. Sheamus and Gunther. I think I think they should do a triple threat. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus.
Oh, that would be fun.
And for people watching our video footage, he is our lovely host is just taking his medication. Don't.
My apologies. It's to make sure that I don't end up in a hospital again.
Yes, we do not want our co-host to end up in the hospital, so we don't have to set up a GoFundMe page. Anyways, number 28 is Ricochet.
The flippy dippy tag team partner of Braun Strowman.
A fun little tag team that's been getting some traction going for them on SmackDown.
Honestly, I like them as a tag team.
I think they are in the tag team finals.
They are indeed, because they took someone else's spot in the Someone else couldn't do it, but they could. The whole WWE shenanigans.
Always WWE shenanigans. So Ricochet and Braun are trying to teaming up. Braun and Gunther have a stare down a little bit. Out comes number 29. Logan Paul. And you will understand our frustration with Logan Paul once we break this final 5 down. But I will give Logan Paul this. Logan Paul.
I was gonna say. I think you're about to say my literal one note on Logan Paul right here. I literally just have fuck Logan Paul, but god damn it, he has a good buckshot.
The cleanest buckshot I've ever seen.
And I actually analyzed it and I figured out.
It's a little smoother than Hangman's at times. Definitely better than CM Punk's. I love you, Phil, but
yeah, no. The reason why, at least the reason I kind of think why, because I've watched them back enough times, is Paul does a full front flip, lands, and then uses the momentum after landing to launch. Hangman leans into his lariat as he's landing, so it's like a continuation.
Okay.
And that's why it looks cleaner, because it's just a slight difference in literally it's just a slight difference in execution.
Yes.
But Logan's looks cleaner because there's that extra half beat for you to see the separation of movements, whatever.
So there's the buckshot lariat. This was a little bit after he entered the ring, was starting to talk all this cocky shit. Then everyone just started beating down on him because non-WWE guy in the ring, like, hello.
It was like right after he did the buckshot. He got his first 2 moves in that everyone does when they first get in the Rumble. And then all the wrestlers went, wait, it's Logan Paul, and just started stomping the shit out of him. It was great.
Mm-hmm. And then number 30. Adrenaline in my soul. It's number 30, Cody Rhodes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Number 30, Cody Rhodes has entered into the Royal Rumble, making his first Royal Rumble appearance in I don't know how many years.
Enough of them.
Probably over 7. But Cody makes it his way into the ring. Quickly, just starts throwing punches on everyone, doing.
I will say, before we continue, I need to talk a little bit about him coming in at 30.
Like,
Do you want me to save this until we do the full recap after we get done with the sequencing of what goes down, or can I talk about this now?
Let's talk about it now.
Okay, so this is why I personally feel like this match was all right. It's all the leanings and all the whisperings and all the coverage has said for months on end. Cody's coming back at the Rumble, and he's going to win, and he's going to go to Mania, and he's going to complete this journey. That's what's going to happen. He's going to come back early, and that's what's going to happen. And we were all like, that is so cool. We are all down for that. Sweet. Awesome. But it's not set in stone. It's WWE. It can always change. And then last week, they go, he's coming back. You took away, and then you give us a Rumble like that. That's just like, it's literally the entire time. Everyone in the audience and both of us were sitting there going, okay, when's Cody coming out? When's Cody coming out? Okay, at this point, Cody's coming out at 30. Ooh, Cody's out at 30. Okay, how does he win now? Exactly. At least that was me watching the match. That's what I did. Because, unfortunately, once I realized that there wasn't going to be any bloodline stuff, they were saving that for the main event. I was kind of like, when's he coming out? Because you don't announce it and then he doesn't win, and then you made it so that way his pop wasn't even as big as Edge's in the same match, even though he's the one that's supposed to be having this super stunning return like Triple H did or like Cena did back in the day.
Yes, I understand where they were coming from when announcing it ahead of time, so people don't get too worked up thinking, oh, number 30 is going to be The Rock or Stone Cold because of all those reports that were going around. But I think they could have, at the same time, they could have held off on announcing his return, just so you get the bigger pop. And after Cody makes his way in and he hits a couple crossroads onto people, he's confronted by a Mr. Seth frickin' Rollins, and he's greeted with a simple welcome back, and they just start going at it like old times. So our final five. Oh, I apologize. Before we get down to the final five, we have probably the spot.
I was going to say, I think you're skipping something very important there, Nick.
The spots of the whole show.
This is top 5 spot.
The fact that Logan Paul pulled it off makes it even more bittersweet.
Yeah, dude, oh God, it's one of my favorite. It's a wrestler from my favorite rivalry in history, and one of my least favorite people on the planet in the same spot.
Mark. You fucking Will Ospreay, Mark.
Shut up. Shut up.
So,
remember, I'm a whisperer.
Inside jokes. They're always fun. So, Logan Paul is on the apron on one side of the ring. Ricochet is on the apron on the other side of the ring. They're both talking to each other, saying, let's go. Let's run this shit. You want to go? They both jump up onto the top rope on each side of the ring, jump from the top rope towards each other in the middle, and then clothesline each other.
They were crossbodied.
Yeah, no, I thought it was more like it was a close. They had their arms out like they were clothesline each other.
I saw more of a crossbody than a clothesline. Either way,
they collide midair and just crash down into the fucking ring, and it was Beautiful.
It was stunning. It was the spot. It was a spectacle of a spot enough where I'd say kind of like the Mankind through Cell uh McShane going off in the black jersey, falling backwards. Like,
yes,
it's one of those types of spots.
Yes. Now keep in mind. Now this is an important little detail. After that collision, Logan Paul rolls himself under the bottom rope out of the ring onto the floor. This detail is going to come in handy in the Rumble. Gunther ends up eliminating Braun Strowman.
There was actually something. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, there was something before that.
Oh no, I think you're going to give more detail, and then I'm going to be able to get more explanation of what I saw.
Gunther goes to eliminate Braun Strowman. Does Ricochet tries to? I think Ricochet tries to save.
I don't know. If you look at the movement of what he's doing, it kind of looks like he's trying to pull Braun over the rope.
Yeah, I noticed that little detail too. Because it's like he was hesitant.
It wasn't even that he was hesitant. It was the move that he was putting on the body almost looked like he was trying to pull Braun over the top. So I wonder if that was intentional, or if that's just because Ricochet had a brief moment where he wasn't sure where to go.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if that's intentional, I'd be down to see a heel Ricochet. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would. But Gunther, I believe, does end up eliminating Ricochet in the end.
He does.
So in the ring at the moment, we only have Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Gunther, Cody Rhodes. Keep in mind, Logan Paul is still outside the ring. Cody and Seth are some. I don't know if it was Austin Theory tried to attack Seth or Cody or something. But all of a sudden, it's like Seth and Cody start working together, like a little duo. A little tag team action going on.
Both dropping pedigrees on Austin Theory.
Yeah. And then I think it was after a crossroads, after Seth Rollins pedigree. And then he threw out Austin Theory. Then Rollins and Cody are having a stare down again. And Rollins is like, you're not going to take this moment away from me. And it looks like Rollins is about to go and throw Cody over the rope or something. Like, get ready to attack Cody. Get ready to finish things out. From then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes Logan Paul, who was never eliminated. He had rolled into the ring and then just threw Seth Rollins over the top rope and eliminating him, thus giving you Seth Rollins' WrestleMania program, people. That's right. It's Seth Rollins versus fucking Logan Paul.
Okay. 2 things to say on that. Well, 3 things. 1, God damn it, I hate that that's the truth. 2, at least we know it's going to be a fantastic in-ring match with both of those athletes. Yes. And 3, Seth is the face. There is no way that the way Logan acted in that match.
He's 100% heel. 100%.
Okay. I pray to God, just make sure that he's the heel and let Seth turn face. He needs to just become a little bit less cocky. He needs to go back to Seth Rollins so that way the kids can say his name.
say frickin'.
I couldn't.
Sure, you could. You just couldn't. You just can't get caught. It's but your final three is Logan Paul, Gunther, and Cody Rhodes. And Logan's just like looking around, soaking in all the booze, pointing at the WrestleMania sign like he's gonna win it all. Then freaking Cody comes in, fucking hits him in the crossroads.
Throws him out.
Yep. Then you get your real match.
They did a full match within a match here.
Yes. Yes, they did. Some traditional classic wrestling. Stiff chops. Cody was able to be more of himself. They did a couple spots where almost Cody was going to be eliminated. Cody almost eliminated Gunther by choking him, by putting him in a chokehold, and then dragging his body over the top rope. He actually hit a crossroads on Gunther, I believe, also.
He did indeed. He did indeed.
Before finally eliminating the Intercontinental Champion.
And then proving that he went from dashing to Stardust to the main event.
He solved racism, and now he solved nationalism. Cody Rhodes is on his way to main event WrestleMania Night 2 against the undisputed Universal.
Not Night 2 for sure.
It's a confirmed Night.
It's 2. On the postage. It says the two of them, and then it says WrestleMania. It doesn't specify Night 2.
Okay. But yes, he will go on to main event either Night 1 or Night 2 of WrestleMania.
He'll go on to main event WrestleMania.
I would imagine it would be Night 2 though, because unless you're splitting the belt.
I mean, we don't know what
we don't know what plan. We don't know what's entail for.
Exactly. But, we don't know what family members might show up.
Gunther breaks Rey Mysterio's Royal Rumble record by
traditional Royal Rumble.
Yes,
traditional Royal. We have to remember Royal this Rumble because record. In the greatest Royal Rumble, Bryan Danielson, who at the time went as Daniel Bryan, went over 85 minutes in that 50-man Royal Rumble, just to give the man his credit.
Yes, Gunther lasted in a traditional Royal Rumble. He lasted a total time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds. Just a phenomenal outing.
Absolutely. His first outing ever. And yes, has he been in a Rumble before?
I think I'm not sure. Either this is his second Rumble or his debut.
Either way, it makes sure that he gets into the record books, which he deserves to do because he is one of those.
That man's a future champion. That man's gonna take that man's gonna take the belt off Cody.
I could see it.
If we end up getting that far, I think we do end up getting that far. So I gave the match like a 3.5 to a 4 out of 5.
I got a solid 3.5. Like, I'm good there. I will say though, through this entire show, I absolutely loved the commentary. Like, the commentary that's one thing
was on point.
Like,
it was fresh.
There was one point in the main event. I'm just gonna say it. Like, Cole made a point. They were like, someone mentioned to Cole, like, why are you so funny? And he's like, I've been told not to be for the last 25 years. I've been told in my ear to not to be for the last 25 years. So, like, it was awesome to see this because they were having fun too. And when you're having fun doing what you do, it shows to the audience.
Yeah. Yes, it does. What other notes do I have about the Rumble? Besides Pat McAfee getting in trouble for saying Banger Boy. This is
So much. He said it so much.
this is actually the first. This was actually the first Royal Rumble since 2008 that did not feature Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Kind of sad about that.
I always liked him. I always like him. I,
I've
I
always
think they use some good. I would like to see him in to have one little run in AEW, even if it's just a mid card run. Like him and his brother team up.
just let him have a mid card run in WWE.
I mean that too, but I don't think they see him as they see him as like lower card guy. Just you're there to help build up people to get contenders, and then you're a trusted hand when Goldberg needs to come out of retirement for a match.
Because he can bump like there's no tomorrow.
Yes, you can.
All right.
So
So
we are after that Rumble. It is time for our product placement match of the evening.
hey,
The Mount-
convince me to buy a 12-pack.
the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. Do you like your booking to go with no end? Do you like creepy things that just lead you on to never ending spirals of questioning yourself and wondering why this is going nowhere? Mountain Dew Pitch Black is just for you then.
It, it it's just another aspect of Bray Wyatt that is like it's so sad when you can tell a character is so good and there's so much promise, but because there's so little you can do with him, what it's kind of like a horror movie. Once you do it once, you know what's coming.
So,
So I really feel like they're waiting. I feel like they're in a holding pattern, and the Wyatt Six is fully gonna form at or after Mania, and it's going to be a project for 2023. I really feel like it's been in a holding pattern, and they threw them there because they were able to do some spooky shit. Like he looked creepy as fuck when the black lights went on, dude. So for everyone that didn't actually watch the match, it wasn't pitch black like they were in
so
darkness. They did a black light. So the
they
entire
did a
thing was in
black
black
light.
light. The ropes were like a neon color. They both or LA Knight was wearing like neon ring gear, and then Bray had like on
Bray
iridescent
had
paint.
yeah, Bray had this black face when Bray was making his entrance. He had on this black face paint on around his eyes, basically, and that was the only paint that was really visible. Once the black light came on, you can see that he was covered in all bunch of UV paint with designs to make it look like a devil. He also had the Mountain Dew logo on his arm. And let me tell you, this match falsely advertised because there is not one single fucking bottle of Mountain Dew in the match.
Didn't you
Yeah,
see the one fly out of the exploding flames?
like what the fuck? You couldn't like okay, the only product placement you have is the logo and that's it? Oh, we're gonna do the product placement with Cody when he takes a sip after in the press conference. Like, fuck off! Do it. Have it like fucking. Have fucking LA Knight throw Bray into a big thing of them, like a big case of them or some shit. Anyways, the match starts with the black light turning on and revealing the UV light, and
It didn't
basically
go.
it's like Bray's getting all the offense. basically. From the very beginning, it's just all Bray. All Bray. No
Okay.
no little no offense really for LA Knight. Sorry, Shane. Continue.
You're good. It just there's not going to be, because that's the problem with this Bray character. When he's angry, is he's supposed to be this psycho, unstoppable behemoth who can't be hurt, can't be destroyed. That's what it is. And so it, unfortunately, it makes sense. It's trash right now, but it makes sense. They're
So
trying to figure out what's going to happen next, but they're also trying to not make it so Bray doesn't have a thing to like do, so you forget about what he's doing, or you're like, oh, they're not booking him, but they have no idea what they're doing with him. They know they can do something. They know whenever he finally does something, it's going to be incredibly good. But figuring out how to do that is extremely difficult. Is
so
what it appears to me, at least.
yeah, I agree. I agree with you. So they make their way out to the outside of the ring, over by the commentary table area, and Bray starts taking the table apart, and you can see the table's filled with like these green neon fuzzies too, for some reason. So you know that when the table explodes, it's gonna scatter those green stuff, the green fuzzies all over the place. Uh, Bray or LA Knight Irish whips Bray into the steps, and Bray or LA Knight then moves the steps over towards the table area, over by the commentary table, to set up the table spot. And they go. At first, it looked like Bray was going to try to put LA Knight through the table, but then you have LA Knight box jump onto the steps and jump onto LA Knight, or jump onto Bray Wyatt, putting him through the table and making everything scatter everywhere. Um, and that's basically that was basically the only real offense he had.
And then they worked their way to the back, and then there was supposed to be the spot where like Uncle Howdy, who was outside of
Well, we're not.
Bray.
Well, we're not there yet. We are. He's got to make it. Basically, Bray's just like beating. Bray gets up. They're back in the ring. LA Knight throws a toolbox. Throws a toolbox in the ring. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with the toolbox. They don't even do anything with the toolbox. I don't even know. I guess they throw it just to like as a scare factor. LA Knight pulls out this kendo stick, but doesn't really get a swing on Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt hits his sister's Abigail. 1, 2, 3. End of match. Bray gets up, puts on this mask, and immediately starts chasing LA Knight to the area, like you were saying. LA Knight has a kendo stick in the hand. He's just like trying to fucking beam Bray Wyatt in the head, and Bray's no selling it. They go and then they go to that production area, like you were saying before, with
Yeah, and then there's just this dumb bit where Uncle Howdy, and they botched the whole bit because he didn't get anywhere close to him, and it blew up in flames, and nothing's gonna come of it. And can we please just move on?
yeah, it was just.
And then there was a trash women's match following it, where the entire match was spent with Bianca having all the dominant, and it was 7 minutes long, and nothing happened except Alexa afterward got another stupid black and white promo for the Wyatt Six with no explanation. And that's how that match went. So, yeah, no, like those two matches together, you can rate them together. They were like twos together because neither one of them did anything. They were filled with complete. Sorry, what you got?
I thought the women's match was at least a 3.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. The women's match was adequate. The men's match was trash. The men's match shouldn't have happened. The women's match was too short and then was entirely intended on Alexa getting this promo at the end that she's gotten in some various form for weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, that's kind of what they did to that part of the show. There was just like this block of a half hour that was just kind of like, welp, they could have done so much with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost wonder if they cut time on the Pitch Black match.
I think they might have. They had to have cut time on either the Pitch Black match or
Women's title match.
Yeah, the women's titles match.
Because all that you've got otherwise are Rumbles and the men's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those two matches are the only place you can cut time. I mean, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. The freaking men's main event almost is basically an hour if you count the post main, because the post main segment is 20 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. You got an above average match and then a post match segment on top of it. So, like, at least now we get to my opinion the best women's match on the best match period on the card.
Yes, the women's rumble.
The women's rumble. 4.5 stars for me. This thing was phenomenal. Didn't have a lot of the wrestlers I was hoping were going to be in it, but like,
why the fuck do you bring back Nia Jax though?
That's my point. Okay, I was hoping for
an Asuka Io. Anybody.
I'm like, there were rumors we were going to get an Eos. We were going to get a Kairi Sane Asuka reunion in this Rumble. We don't get that. We don't get a legend return. We don't get like a Lita or a Trish. I mean, we did get a dope ass return for a legend. Like, I love this return, guys. But yes, number 15.
Number.
Did I get that wrong? Number what?
She did come back, but she is a legend in her own right, but not officially yet. The one you're thinking of is number 25.
She was all the way at 12. Wow. Okay. My numbers on that match are kind of messed up. But yeah, number 30. Like, I don't get it either. Especially for what they did with her. Yes. But we'll get there. So we start out 1 and 2. Liv said she was coming out at 1. For some God. Actually, I know exactly why. But she comes out at 2 instead, and then we've got Rhea Ripley at 1.
And mind you, everybody, Rhea Ripley is still injured from.
Yes, she got a spear from Beth just about an hour prior.
Yes.
So she's selling a rib injury as this match is happening.
And I give it to these two women. They kicked fucking ass throughout that entire Rumble.
The two of them went coast to coast. They started 1-2, they ended 1. They ended 29-30. Like, reinvigorated Liv Morgan so much. Holy crap.
I had one buddy who's like, oh, I hate how they treat Liv. She's being squashed. Like, this isn't a fucking squash. She lasted an hour in the fucking Rumble, and this was her most dominant performance yet. Like, shut the fuck up.
And the person she lost to is the person that should have won the Rumble.
Exactly.
Like, the most dominant. Yeah, no, it was a superb Rumble. You had your spots, you had your reintroduction, because like, so Asuka was what number? Remind me.
Asuka was 17, and she came out as Kana, her killer clown.
She came out in the killer clown, and they had the picture. It's perfect. somehow WWE got the camera angle where it looked like a Japanese show. I saw the picture and I'm like, oh, that's like a New Japan show or something like that. I don't know how they pulled it off.
Oh,
It is
that's
the coolest thing. And I am so excited for this reintroduction because I love Asuka as it is. And now you get to let her really let things out and be the character that she can be.
mm-hmm.
I could see her dethroning Belair.
Yes. I think that's what's might be the
I
plan.
could also see her literally popped in my head right now. Theoretically, in the Wyatt Six, she can be crazy enough.
Ooh. Um so what I like about this Rumble is compared to the men's, it's evenly paced. You don't got too many wrestlers that you feel are like just there to take a spot. So like number 2 and 3, or not number 2, number 3 and 4 is Dana Brooke and Emma, but then you get number 5 with Shayna Baszler, and you think back to when she had like that 8 eliminations in the one Rumble. A
Yeah,
few
she
years.
comes in and starts wrecking shit. She comes in and starts wrecking shit for sure.
Speaking of wrecking shit, number 6, Bailey, also comes in and starts wrecking shit. Her and her stablemates actually run shop, basically.
Yeah, because they all come in real tight.
Yes. We get B Fab of Hit Row at number 7, making her Rumble debut and quickly
She's
getting
in
eliminated.
and out.
Yes.
But she didn't. She didn't. I was expecting her to look much more like a diva than she did. Was she good? No, but in the Divas era, I'd say top few wrestlers.
She was okay. Uh, Better than Top Dollar. Then
Ouch!
then number 8, we get NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez in her hometown, basically,
Trained by
making
Booker
her
T.
trained by Booker T, making her Royal Rumble debut, and she had a good showing. The only reason she didn't last long, but the only reason they didn't keep her in the Rumble is because she has a match for the belt on Saturday, I
Vengeance.
believe. Yeah. The next premium live event, live on the Cock.
Yeah, calling it the cock. I
Oh yeah,
almost
that got.
lost it.
Oh yeah, that I think that got Pat McAfee in trouble also.
Probably because he immediately went peacock right afterward. He called it the cock and then immediately went peacock.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm forever
Uh,
going to call it the cock.
I call it the Cock. There's quite a few people that call it the Cock. Uh, Notable wrestling aficionado and also piece of shit Jim Cornette um, calls it the Cock.
Now I don't want to call it that anymore.
But Brock Lesnar calls it the Cock too.
We'll see.
So there's some yin to yang kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. There's always a yin to a yang.
You give a little, you take a little. So this is where things start to pick up a little bit because at number 9 and number 10, you get Dakota Kai and Io Sky. So Damage Control is a full unit. They're helping save Bailey, wrecking shop, and it's gonna be like that up until number 15. So you get at number 11, you get Natalia, who's returning from
Broken nose.
broken nose. She was out a few months. I think she was out since Survivor Series or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think that was
SmackDown.
like her last
Like
show
that.
and they wrote her up. Yeah. I think she got the injury at Survivor Series and they wrote her off the next show.
Mm-hmm. And then number 12 was Candice LeRae, who she lasted longer than Johnny.
She did indeed, and she's a solid wrestler. She's a good middle of the Rumble hand for sure.
Yes. I hope to see her. I hope Indy gets called up so that way her and Candice can go for the women's belts.
That'd be fun.
Yes. Um, Number 13 is Zoe Stark from NXT, who has sort of like this MMA background almost.
Girl kicks
Like
ass.
like a better polished Marina Shafir.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Zoe Stark is really she's good. She's
She'll be called up
she's
soon.
yeah, give her a run with the women's championship on the NXT for a little bit and see how that goes, and then I would say give her a call up. My apologies. At number 14, we got Xia Li, who has a fun little segment with number 21, which I will go ahead and spoil who number 21 is. Number 21 is Selena Vega. Selena Vega is dressed up like Jury of from Street Fighter, and they're basically promoting Street Fighter 6. And so her and Xia Li are up on the apron doing this little Street Fighter fight on the side of the apron. And it's like really fun, just fun little shit like that. I enjoy about the Rumble.
Yeah, even though it's product placement, it was still really fun.
Yes. Number 15 makes their way to the ring, and it is none other than the man, Becky Lynch.
Oh.
Oh. Becky Lynch immediately confronts Damage Control. They drag her outside of the ring, not eliminated. They just drag her under the rope, beat her down. I think they tried putting her through the table or something like that. So Becky's beat down outside of the ring. Later in the match, Becky comes in, eliminates both Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Bailey ends up eliminating Becky. Then Liv eliminates Bailey. Then they all just start beating each other on the outside of the ring. This is I thought this was going to build towards a match at Mania. It may still build a match at Mania. If you watch tonight's Monday Night Raw, you will find out that it's going to be Bailey versus Becky in a steel cage match for the February 6th edition of Monday Night Raw. So we will see if that steel cage match actually takes place as opposed to the previous Raw 30 where they did the 3-minute little work angle that ended up with the match not even happening. Just dumb. Just dumb bullshit. Like I thought that kind of shit would go away when Hunter was in control, but like oh, the Bloodline segment went long. You couldn't cut the Legend segment short? You really couldn't cut that Legend segment short?
You could, but at the same time, everything's not going to switch overnight.
That's true.
That's the way I'm trying to think about it, at least.
Number 16. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll give you.
Because otherwise, you're just going to go crazy.
Mm-hmm. So number 16, we got Tegan Knox, and she didn't really make a impact.
No, she hit Ace Shiniest Wizard and was tossed right after.
Yes, she was. Number 17 was Asuka, Murder Clown. Very, very stiff with the kicks and the knee strikes. Just full on Joshi style. Just Asuka was kicking fucking ass, and I loved it.
It was really fun.
And number 18, the second biggest pop of the. Well, I say the third biggest pop of the women's rumble. The first one was Asuka. Second one was Becky. Third one, Piper Niven getting her old name back.
And all the commentary playing jokes about it.
Do
It was
drop. I do.
I drop. I drop stuff and then I do it, but then I do drop the stuff.
Okay. Number 19 is Tamina. And Tamina didn't really there a lot of moments with Tamina. She has stare down with Piper. I think her and Raquel Gonzalez was
went at it for a little bit, yeah.
Yes. Number 20. Surprise! Debut, a return, actually. A returning Chelsea Green. So you and I were both wrong for thinking Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona would be coming back to the Rumble. It was actually Mrs. Cardona. Or Miss Cardona. Who came back.
She lasted an incredibly long amount of time.
So long.
True comebacks.
5 seconds is long, right? Right, ladies and gentlemen?
I mean, if you're Santino Marella, or you with any woman in your entire life.
That's true. 5 seconds is a very long time. But yes, Chelsea Green legit enters in the Rumble, arrives, and is quickly eliminated by Rhea Ripley, lasting no longer than 5 seconds. Commentary didn't even get a chance to make fun of Zack Ryder.
Yeah, they didn't. It was great. Glad he got out of that unscathed.
Number 21 was Zelina Vega, like I mentioned earlier.
She had that wonderful spot.
I made a poopsie, I think. I don't know who I put for who's number 22. Gotta find out. Oh no. Good thing I send you things.
Yeah, did you send it in our text chain or in the IG chain?
IG chain.
Dumb, we sent too much stuff there.
How am I supposed? Oh, I found it. I also wrote it down. It was just too visible, hard to see. So Raquel, it's number 22 is Raquel Gonzalez. Number 22 is Raquel Gonzalez. And the way they're positioning her is they're making her look like the big, strong powerhouse of the women's division. Big, giant. And it's working good. I'd say her and Tamina get into it a bit. I think she eliminates Tamina.
I believe she does. I believe you're right there.
But she was eliminated by Rhea Ripley.
Rhea was just everywhere.
Yeah, Rhea was everywhere in that match. She also attempted to suplex a returning Nia Jax. And
she almost got it.
Yeah. So Nia went full dead weight.
Yeah.
And then Rhea hit Nia with a riptide.
Again, barely.
Barely. But that's towards the end of the match. Number 23, Mia Yim. Michin as I don't get what the name changes still. I get some of them. I don't get all of them. Makes no
This
sense.
is one I just don't get, but it's better than Reckoning.
Yes. Number 24 is Lacey Evans, who's trying
I,
this weird Sergeant Slaughter gimmick.
I have problems with anything Lacey Evans related based off of her opinions outside of wrestling. So it's very difficult for me to want to watch anything with her involved or see anything with her involved. But I will
Yeah.
say, but I will say, you are absolutely right. She's doing a Sergeant Slaughter type gimmick to the point of she's using his finish. She's using his submission hold. Blech.
Yes, she is using the Cobra Clutch. She used the Cobra Clutch on Selena Vega and just tossed her out of the ring from the top of the turnbuckle, like it was nothing, and it was okay, but I don't care for Lacey Evans because of what you stated earlier, because of her opinions and stances outside of professional wrestling. Anyways, not to divert any further, number 25, the fun Rumble legend spot of the night, Michelle McCool.
So we should reference before the match started, Michelle McCool was shown with her daughters sitting ringside
Yep, a couple rows
to
behind
watch the
commentary.
match.
Yep. The music hits, everyone's going crazy. Camera shows up to her, and she's just like, "Oh, me? Well, okay, honey, hold my jacket real quick." And then she goes in the ring in Uggs.
wearing wearing legit Uggs and like sweatpants.
Sweatpants with tombstones on them because dead man walking. Um,
Exactly.
she comes in, does her thing, hits a Styles Clash. I don't know what I forgot the name of what Michelle calls it.
Called it.
Yeah,
Same here.
but it's a
I want
Styles
to say
Clash.
I want to say the famouser, but that's not right.
That's not right at all. That is not
I
right.
I know. I was just thinking her gimmick, what something like that would be called. If anyone knows, throw it in comments or send us a message with it,
Yes.
please.
Um, number 26, the last NXT call, not call, but Rumble entrant is Indy Hartwell, who
That
I
girl
won't.
can go.
Yes, and I love that she got turned into a Browns fan by Johnny Gargano, and I really hope she gets called up soon to the main roster. Number 27 is Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville is just trying to secure another championships opportunity just in case her match with Charlotte goes astray. So I get why she's trying to enter in the Rumble, but it didn't work out for you, girlfriend. You got rocked in the dome by Asuka.
Yeah, you made a mistake. In the words of memes, you chose poorly.
Yes, she
So,
did.
so and didn't she get tossed out pretty quick after that too?
I believe she did. Number 28 was Shotzi, and I wish she rode the tank all the way down.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, you come out in a tank, there's like a 200-yard entrance ramp, and you get off the tank to run down the ramp. Why not take the tank to the ring?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
The only thought I can think of is because they couldn't figure out a way to not have it be awkward, them taking the tank back to the back. That's the only thing that I can think of, is it was a logistical thing.
Our executive producer is playing with a piece of paper. I just thought I'd
Gotcha.
let you know. Um, I apologize for the distraction.
Kitty Cat takes precedent.
Damn cats. Number 29 is Nikki Cross, and she's back to her full sanity
Psychotic.
gimmick. Yeah, just going full out chaotic energy, like a wrecking ball of chaos.
Yeah, a
But
wrecking ball of
she was
hair.
basically final. She ended up being one of the final four. But
She did.
she was quickly eliminated, but still, it was like the last of the final four.
And our final three is the two that started it. And then we've also got Asuka in there.
Yes. So the finish was triple threat style, which is basically Rhea go. Rhea went to try to eliminate Liv. Liv tried to eliminate Rhea. Rhea blocked it and was dragged over onto the apron. Asuka tried for a hip attack, but Rhea drags Asuka over top rope. So all three women are fighting on the apron. Asuka goes to miss Rhea. Rhea ducks and hits Liv. Rhea kicks Asuka's legs out from under Asuka, causing Asuka to fall off the apron. Rhea makes her way over towards Liv. Liv is still blinded, trying to find her, find out what the fuck to do. Feels Rhea coming towards her, hits Rhea with a face breaker or code breaker, however you want to call it. Rhea's dangling on the rope, legs almost touching the ground. Liv's trying to make her way towards Rhea to hit her hands to get her to drop the rope, and basically Rhea swings her legs up to snag Liv for a head scissors and throws Liv off the apron, thus ending your Rumble. Rhea becomes the fourth person in Royal Rumble history to start a Royal Rumble from number one and run it all the way through to the win. She lasted a total time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 33 seconds.
One hell of a run. One hell of a run.
An extremely hell of a run. Definitely the best match of the night.
Oh, 100%.
I'd give the Rumble itself a 4. Like the whole thing, a 4 out of 5. 4.5.
See, and I'm at 4.5. Personally, it made up for the men's, and then some.
Yes, I agree.
And then we get to the main event.
Oh, not before the horrendous song by Hardy.
Oh, I
didn't listen to it. We're not reviewing the song.
Okay, so I caught a glimpse of it, and that man as an artist is very interesting, to be perfectly honest with you. I went and I listened to something else on the album because I looked up the album, and there's a song with a vocalist from a band that I really like. So I looked up the song, and it's somehow mixed acoustic country and Warped Tour screamo, like the guy's the front man of the Used, and it was somehow miraculously not bad. But then I listened to a little bit of the song he performed at the Rumble, and I was like, you're forcing this a bit hard. But now we're getting into music reviews, and I'm not going to go there because I don't know enough.
All right, so we're now on to the main event. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Sami Zayn in Roman Reigns' corner for the Uwu Championship. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
So, the reason why it is only Sami Zayn and not the rest of the bloodline is that during the pre-show, there was a promo, and Roman made an explicit statement to Sami after Jay defended Sami's involvement on SmackDown the night before, which was against Roman's call. So Sammy was sitting to take his dues, Jay defended him. And so Roman gave Sammy one last chance. He said, "You're the only one coming out with me. If anything happens, you have to help the bloodline because I'm leaving the rest of them back here. It is just you. And so you are coming out with me." And so that is why was the only one to come out with Roman when Roman was coming out for the match.
Yeah, KO comes out like his normal KO self, just ready for the match.
Hitting himself in the head and everything.
Yes. Roman makes his way out with Paul Heyman and Sammy. And Sammy looks a little stressed. Like out of the three, Sammy's the one that looks the most stressed because of everything going on between not only the pressure of being in the bloodline, but with I'm assuming with KO too.
Best friends for your entire life. Now I'm part of this other family and you're fighting them. What the heck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So the bell rings. They get in they're in the ring now. Bell rings. A Sammy Uso chants start, and Sammy's just like looking on in the crowd, like nervously. But like he smiles at the crowd, like thank you, but like he's nervous about everything. Like
yeah, you don't know what's happening.
But yeah, Roman and KO basically go for collar elbow tie up, old fashioned shit. Roman's basically knocks him KO down a couple times with a shoulder block. And Roman goes for another shoulder block. I believe KO counters. Yeah. KO counters with Roman's about to run the ropes. KO counters, hits him with an elbow. Then does a senton, gets up and crotch chops Sammy.
Yep.
So,
we've got more detail. This match was, even though it was really hard hitting and like there were a lot of really good moments in the match, this match was a setup and a storyline and not a match.
yes.
Like
And
not a true wrestling match, not a true title match. This was a setup to an angle.
throughout the entire match, commentaries basically, Michael Cole's basically like, where does Sammy really lie? And it's like he's worried. It's like, is every time that Roman kicks out, is he worried? Is that look on his face because Sammy almost or KO almost kicked out, or almost lost, or because he kicked out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they start fighting on the outside. KO's mostly getting a little bit of the offense, and KO hits a senton on the outside, and
he really got that one good too.
yeah, it knocked the wind out of him. Let me see where I'm at in my notes. I apologize. Yes, and then KO throws him back in the ring, and he got him in the corner. But Roman Irish whips him back diagonally. Um, then Roman starts to like. He looks hurt for a second, but he just brushes it off like it's nothing. Hits a rock bottom of all moves onto KO. I believe KO he hits a rock bottom on KO. Tries to go for a cover, but it's only a 2 count. Sammy talks with the ref, like trying to cheer Roman on, but he still has this look on his face, like not sure what's going on here. Like,
Yeah, that continued throughout a lot of the match. It was really, really physical, and then yeah, there was lots of back and forths and kick outs, and it was a really well contested match. It started in second, like you got the gears, like there's three acts, and you start in first gear, second gear, and then whatever gear you want to pick for the third act. These guys
start.
started in it's huh?
Go on, continue.
These guys started in like second or third gear and then just kept upping the ante in the physicality, because that's where this rivalry has gone to. Because whether KO says it or not, the reality that we all know is KO's fighting for his best friend and not for the championship.
Yes.
And so he's willing to go to the ends of the earth because that's what friends do for each other. So, and that's becoming more and more clear to Sammy.
Yes.
So,
Um, when things and throughout this match, it's mostly just who can counter who better, and it's
which is,
KO. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's honestly weird because, like, for almost this entire reign, Roman was untouchable. Nothing phased him. He just brushed off whatever. He no sold whatever because that's who he was. And ever since this KO Sammy stuff started, he started to get vulnerable.
What I think really started, like, I'd say, speeding up the match and thus making everything click going to the final chapter of the story that's being told here is KO is about to go, or Roman's running the ropes. He's about to go hit KO with a spear. KO counters it. KO tries to hit Roman with a stunner. Roman pushes KO out into the referee. The referee takes the bump and is rolled out of the ring. Ref's out of the ring, out of the occlusion. Roman's looking over towards Paul. He's like, "Are we good?" And Paul agrees. Then he's basically telling, and then he looks at Sammy. He's like, "Get me a chair." And Sammy's pleading, like, "You told me not to do anything. Like, I'm tribal chief. He said not to do anything." And it's like Roman's like, "I don't care. Give me a damn chair." And just the amount of stress that you can see on that man's face.
Yeah, that beating, it reminded me. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but
A little bit, little,
it reminded me of Rock Mankind.
little bit. But
Little bit.
um, but yeah, it's like Sammy's stressed out, panicking, trying to find a chair. Fucking goes over by the ring bell area. Then Paul Heyman has to, like, guide him back over to the ring area underneath the ring to where a chair would be. Gets the chair in the ring. As Rowan's about to use it, KO just says fuck it, hits a stunner. Ref gets in the ring, and it almost looked like we were about to get a new champion. Roman barely kicked out of that.
That he did. He barely got himself out of it. But that's what champs do.
Mm-hmm. So
So, and then it just kind of started to schmoz a little bit.
yeah, I got Roman just started beating his ass. Like Rome or Sam KO ended up outside of the ring at one point, and KO was just crawling towards Sammy, and Sammy's just shouting at KO just to stay down. Roman sees KO trying to grab onto Sammy, just runs around the corner, and then just spears KO right through the barricade.
Yeah, no, and he almost got him through the. Oh no, right. Yeah, he went through the barricade.
Yes. And then Roman rolls him, gets him up, rolls him back into the ring. KO ends up rolling out the other side of the ring. Roman meets him there. KO is trying to just get himself up, use it over by the steel stairs, just prop himself up. Roman just whips him back to the stairs, where the back of his head just whips up against.
Oh,
the
that spot
stairs.
was it. It was a rough spot, guys. I thought he caught corner on his the back of his skull. Like as someone who's dealt with head stuff before, that freaked me out.
He did that twice. Sammy looked on in horror. Rolled him. Roman's rolled him back in the ring. Hit him with a spear. 1, 2, 3 count. Title retained.
And now comes the fun part.
Now comes the soap opera. That is the Bloodline.
The soap opera that I mentioned at the very beginning of this episode. This is it. This whole thing, this whole hour and a half plus long podcast has all come down to this right here. This soap opera. We are grown men talking about a soap opera and loving every second of it.
Just wait till we get to the 4-hour mark of the podcast.
I will kill you before we hit a 4-hour on a podcast. We are not doing a wrestling show. We are not Tony Khan and overbooking to fit everything onto one card. That is not happening, Nicholas. We will put out 5
you
in
want
a week
300 hours of wrestling? We got you covered.
He's got you covered. You'll see me for this once a week, twice a week.
So, after the match, the rest of the Bloodline comes out. Jay's about to give Sammy one of the leis that they have around their neck. Basically like, oh, you're part of the.
This is the last thing to prove you're part of.
Completed.
Yeah, you've completed your whatever, your journey. Your journey to the kingdom has arrived. You have officially gotten here.
Like, not so fast. We done here. Sammy's like, looks on confused, like, what? Maybe we're not done. Yeah, Roman's like, we're not done. Then the Usos just start beating the fuck out of KO. Just a straight
and Jimmy took the first. Jimmy was the first one to just throw a super kick.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere, just threw a super kick, and they just started pummeling the crap out of KO.
And
Sammy's looking on like, what the hell do I do?
Yeah, Sammy's just like shocked. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. They get KO into a corner. They wedge his neck into a chair, basically Pillmanizing his neck. Solo Sikoa goes in for a hip attack. And then
I will say it looked vicious. It looked absolutely vicious. He executed it too perfect. I at least watch for this type of stuff. I'm not sure if you do, Nick, but like he executed it to perfection. Like KO took that fine. He was fine after that.
He did a very good job with that. It was very well executed. Solo reminds me so much of Umaga.
Seriously, in like all the best ways too.
This whole time, like while Sammy's just looking on in horror, freaking Roman has his arm over Sammy's shoulder, just smirking on, like, yeah, this is how it's done, boys. Now, this is where it gets a little more intense now. Paul Heyman Kinky son of a bitch. Pulls out 2 sets of handcuffs. He gets the handcuffs to Roman, who gives them to Jimmy and Jay, and they handcuff
Mind
KO.
you, these are super fuzzy, fluffy, pink handcuffs.
Wish they were super fuzzy cuffs. That'd be awesome. Heyman has a stash too.
I know. We can see his G-string through the suit.
So, they got KO handcuffed to the rope. Roman's just standing there with a chair smirking, and Sammy like starts pleading to like stop. He's like, "Hey guys," excuse me.
Like,
He's like, "Hey
this is
guys,"
enough. This is
like, yeah.
enough. We're good.
He's like, but he couldn't even get that part out yet first, and then the Usos just start super kicking KO. They give KO like 10 super kicks.
And mind you, KO is plastered like this. They put him against the posts, not against the rope. So he is like spread out, almost like he's on the ground sitting down, but he's like crucified.
And
Essentially.
each time they were super kicking KO, Sammy would be like getting closer and closer towards Owens to like intervene, basically. After like 10 super kicks, Roman gets the Usos to back off, and then Roman's about to like approach. He approaches KO with the chair, and it's like, Sammy's family, you disrespect me, you disrespect Sammy Uso. And he's about to freaking swing the chair at KO, and then Sammy just steps in the way. Is like, you don't need to do this. Stop. And then
Roman goes, "You're."
Yeah, crowd erupts.
Roman's like, crowd erupted, that's for sure. And then Roman's like, "You're right, bro. It ain't my job. It's yours."
Yep. He's like, "Oh, this is beneath me. You're right. You should do it." and Sammy's just like, "No, we don't need to do this. Like, you gotta do this. This is your test." And then Heyman's like, "You gotta do it, Shmuley. It's your test. Final test."
Shmuley, don't defile that nickname.
And Sammy starts crying.
He's a good actor, man.
Sammy starts crying. Roman can't believe it. Gets in his face, smacks his face a bit, and every time, like, well, before to this part, there was a moment where Roman had his back towards Sammy, and Sammy had the chair up, and it looked like they were teasing Sammy going to hit Roman with the chair.
And then he didn't. And so we were all like, okay, so he's now going to get beat up and be submissive, and then he's going to do it.
Yes.
For Roman. He's going to whack KO.
Yes. And
Seth Rollins.
And then Roman gets all in Sammy's face, smacks him a bit because he's crying and everything. And he turns around, tells him he shouts just to pull the trigger. Because he wants Sammy to finish KO off. And in shades of the Shield turmoil, Seth Rollins betraying the Shield, you see Sami Zayn swing a steel chair to the back of Roman Reigns, who collapses.
Who falls identically to how he fell in the Shield.
Same shocked expression.
Same instant drop to the knees, followed by a fall. He does it well.
Yeah, and then everything just falls apart. Sammy turns to Jay, says he's sorry. Jimmy just super kicks the fuck out of him. Jimmy just beats the fuck out of Sammy.
Yeah, Jimmy lost control. Jimmy
Jimmy's
finally
just,
lost control. The guy who you never hear from finally lost it. Beat the shit out of Sammy. Jay. Oh, the stuff with Jay. So
Jay
when
was
all this is happening, Sammy went to Paul after all this happened. Uh, was it Roman told him that he needed to step in? Was that what happened? Like
the
he was
tag
cued
match.
that he left. He didn't just leave.
Oh,
Good.
so here's
Yeah,
this
please.
is so after Jimmy's beating down on Sammy and it's like he's shouting like to Jay like, "Oh, I'm this your brother? No, I'm your brother." And then Solo does a Samoan spike to Sammy as well. I believe. Hold on, let me check my notes. Quick. Jay's basically too emotional to do anything. Roman gets up, tells Jimmy and Solo to kill Sammy. Sammy has his while Solo has his Sammy's arms behind his back. Jimmy's just going to town. It's like Jay's just stuck there. He's stuck in emotion. He doesn't know what to
Jay's
do.
literally frozen.
And then and then Jay just rolls out the ring. He just rolls out and just leaves and just starts crying, and Roman's just looking on like in anger and disbelief. Jimmy's just like, is that how it is, Oos? Roman turns back, has a chair in hand, shouts at Sammy that he broke his family, just starts smacking Sammy with
wailing on his back, screaming about how Sammy ruined his family and ruined everything and how he's a bastard. And that breakdown we've all heard or seen or watched on TV or know of some type of breakdown like that. He just lost absolute control and just started wailing on Sammy.
after the breakdown. Jimmy hand Roman one of the lay that was going to be used to bestow onto Sammy. Crowd's doing "fuck you, Roman" chants. It's just the subtleness of how he just takes apart the lay and then just scatters the flowers all over his Sammy's
which,
unconscious body.
which is what you do at a funeral.
And
Then Roman rolls out of the ring. Solo rolls out of the ring. And before Jimmy rolls out of the ring, out of nowhere, super kick to KO. Just one last fuck you before he leaves.
they make
Because
their go on.
Because KO is the source of Jimmy's twin. No, not twin. Right? Twin? No? No?
I think they're twins.
Okay. Either causing Jay this much turmoil and this much heartache, being a best friend to be the point of a brother, and then betraying everything that they had like that. And that's all rooted in KO starting all of that.
Yes.
And so Jimmy's just like, fuck you for this extra bit too.
Yes. They go. Sammy and KO are left unconscious in the ring. Excuse me. As halfway up the ramp, they go. They're about to leave. Roman turns around, looks back at Sammy and KO. Looks over, goes over by Solo, says, "We're at war. Take no prisoners." They turn back around and leave, and that is the end of the paper.
The second sentence was "take no prisoners." Thank you.
I know. I was trying to find that out. I found it out later on the internet. So
Thank you, because I rewatched that one line like a dozen times trying to figure out what the second sentence was, and I couldn't figure it out.
So this match, the match itself was, I'd give it a 4. With the set, oh yeah, 4, low 4, I'd say. Um,
Yeah, low 4, high
uh,
3.
with the segment, the post match segment, however, I would give it a 5 out of 5, just because of how perfect everything was.
They've run this storyline perfectly, the entire thing. It's amazing. It's been fantastic.
So, what would you rate the pay-per-view
Oh,
overall?
there is one issue that I have. I know it needed to be the go home angle, but I kind of have an issue with an angle ending a Royal Rumble because that's like one of your big shows.
I
So
know that's my
it,
biggest pet peeve,
that
but
that
they
that
did
is
it
my
well.
only, and it is a pet peeve, but I also know exactly why it was done and it had to be done. And so like as a show though, high 3, low 4,
I'd
because
give it a I'd give it a 4.
because for me that crap in the middle, that half hour that we just got through in like 5 minutes, because it was just like, what happened? Nothing.
Yeah, there was the
That
pitch
kind of
black
bugged
match
me.
was just garbage, and then
Honestly, the first, even the men's rumble, it was like, yes, it was good wrestling, yes, there were moments, but it was like, I knew it was going to happen, and then it happened. That's not how the Rumble should be. The Rumble's meant for surprises, it's meant for shocks, it's meant for twists, things like that.
yes, exactly.
And they gave us none of it. Although they gave us a great winner. But we all knew it was coming, and there was no question. The moment he came out at 30, we all knew it was coming.
I would have rather him be at 1, but I'm not mad with Gunther coming in at 1 and setting the record.
No, I am not either. So yeah, probably high 3, low 4 for me. Highlight being the women's rumble. That was fantastic. I honestly preferred watching that than watching the segment, but that's because I'm not I don't like I don't like seeing cruelty. Like
My
it
man's
just
not into smut films and it shows.
basically, between the two of us, he's the one that likes the hardcore shit and I'm the pussy. I want my superheroes.
Speaking of hardcore shit, I think we're pulling this up live on the podcast, people. I think they still have tickets for Joey Janela's spring break.
Cool.
If you're interested in going to that, possibly.
We can handle this after the pod.
Possibly. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us for this Royal Rumble review. We apologize if you got too annoyed with us. I know Shane got annoyed with me. Um, please
It
don't forget
happens.
to like and subscribe.
Comment, please. We're trying to figure out formatting, what we need to do, where we need to work on things, like what can be improved. We would love feedback. Like at this point in time, we're fresh. We want the feedback. Good, bad, or the ugly. We'll take it.
Yes, any feedback is good feedback. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram to stay up to date with everything with the Smokin Lariat podcast. We will be
Twitter
making
coming
a Twitter
soon.
soon. Um, Shout out Elon Musk, I guess. Um, I'd rather
Don't
not.
say his name, but
Right?
the problem is
He owns it.
that's where. Well, yeah, but I was also gonna say that's the other problem is wrestling and Twitter have kind of become like you
Anonymous.
gotta have, yeah, exactly, you gotta have one to have the other.
Number
So
number one trending topic in America.
so that's where we're gonna go and we're gonna kill it. We just need the feedback from y'all.
All right, everybody. From Los Angeles, California, here tonight. I am Tenacious Nick here with Smokin Shane. We'd like to thank you for listening to Area Podcast. Tune in next time.